sense, I think the funny thing too is that a lot of people recognize like the harmful effects of trying to fragment and divide up their lives in these ways, but then don't necessarily do anything to address it. Or maybe they feel like they can't do anything to address it. So like, for instance, the idea, like here's another area that people tend to like divide into chunks or like fragment in their life, like work and family and like friends, or like, you know, hobbies, recreation, religion, you know. So then like religion is the thing that gets done on Sunday, like for a couple hours, like maybe. So it's like you go to a place where you are like friendly to people and you try not to use foul language and you try not to do anything generally considered to be a sin. But then you leave that place and then for 6 other days out of the week, you do whatever you want. Like, I don't really know like how that really makes sense. But then, for instance, when you look at like work and family, like people tend to be like, oh, you know, don't take your work home, keep you know, those things like apart, right? As if this is like a viable like approach to life, or that it's even like reasonable to assume that it is separate, like no matter how much you try to keep it separate, because like when you're at work, you're not with your family. So your family is not like in your presence, like you're not benefiting, not interacting with you or whatever. Then when you're there, like you're telling me you don't have anything from work on your mind, like you don't have to recover or recuperate or rest in order to decompress from what you've been doing at work, depending on the nature of your work. You're not telling me that part of what you have to do when you get home is not spend time preparing to go back to work, and that these things don't like affect the way that you interact with your family, so that you're saying like your family is not connected to your work, or that when things are going on like at home, like with the family, that doesn't impact how you are in the workplace. Like if you had like a fight with your spouse, or like something's going on with your kids, or like someone's sick or whatever, that doesn't like enter into your consciousness at all, like when you're working. If it does, maybe you're just like a real cold dude and let me stay out of your way. But for the most part, I'm pretty sure everyone we would talk to would be able to tell us examples of how things that they were thinking about that were from their personal lives or that had to do with their work came into what was supposed to be the other one's sort of like sphere, in a sense. And so if you know they're connected, then maybe we could just acknowledge that they're connected and start to think about what the relationship is and how what we do in one space affects how we are in the other space, and then think about like how we should be. Like what would it look like to be authentic in both of these places, knowing that they affect each other? Go to the movies and you see that commercial from Coca-Cola where all the animals are drinking Coke, and then it says Coca-Cola, open happiness. Just know that happiness is not that simple, because there would be happiness everywhere if all you had to do was drink a Coke.